If you've ever owned a cooler, you know what I'm talking about. That's right. It's chicken soup, but it ain't the kind that Grandma made. If you've ever used a cooler, for camping or otherwise, you're going to want to check this out. I've got a few hacks that I've been working on, and one that I've been using for quite a while that I want to show you guys. Okay, here's some stuff that I picked up. I'm going to try for my cooler. They're watertight ice bags. And you're supposed to be able to put them in your cooler and put the ice in there with it. And when the ice melts, this spigot on here, you're supposed to be able to open it up and drink the water, or at least empty it better. But what these are for is to keep your food dry inside your cooler. And it's not a new concept. A lot of cooler companies, including Coleman back in the day, had what they called dry coolers, where they had a little section for you to put the ice in a watertight container, such as like a little tub, so that you could keep your ice separate from your cold goods. But a lot of people, just for beer and sodas, they don't like that. So that's why a lot of people just dump their ice in their cooler. But this thing, I think is going to help me a lot, because, you know, nobody wants soggy meat. Nobody wants just nasty, yucky stuff. And right now what I do is I use a dry sack to put my ice in to keep it separated. And I will show you guys all that coming up. But I want to test these things. I want to see how good they work. I don't want to recommend them until I know they work. Okay, here's the label on the ice chest bag. And as you can see, it says it has like 4 layers of protection, including aluminum and nylon. And so that's kind of like Reflectix. So I think it's going to help keep the cool in, so the ice might even last longer. Let's hope so. That would be even better. Not only would I get to use the ice as in water, but yeah, it will last longer. I won't have to buy it as much. Hopefully that works. That would be great. I'm eventually, like I said, going to get a refrigerator, but in the meantime, this is going to be a godsend. And heck, you know, for some people, this could be like a forever deal. You know, I mean, this is like, as far as I'm concerned, if it works the way it says it does, I think it would be a game changer for everybody that uses a cooler full time in their rig. I just, yeah, I'm really excited. I hope that this thing works. And like I said, I'm gonna let you guys know. This is just, yeah, I'm really glad I spent the money and got these things. I'm really excited, and I hope this helps somebody. Okay, here's what the bag looks like when you take it out of the package. It's pretty big, and then it's kind of like a plastic foil stuff, so I'm assuming it's gonna keep the ice from melting as fast, because all my other aluminum foil things seem to help do that kind of thing. That's one downside to a regular dry sack, is it doesn't have this aluminum heat reflective stuff to keep the heat out. And then I guess you're supposed to only fill it up to that line with the ice, or that line with liquid. Otherwise it could explode all over your ice chest. So that's not a problem. The ice bag that I bought was pretty small, so I'm sure that it's going to be just fine. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys know how these work out. I bought a pack of 2, partly because that's all I could find on Amazon, and also because I want to rotate them. So when one melts, then I can use the water out of the melted one and then put one with ice in it back in the ice chest, and just keep rotating them that way. That way I'm not having to pour water out like I'm having to now. And that could make a huge mess, which it has, and I didn't like. So yeah, but I'm going to let you guys know how these perform over time, and see if it's something that could help the community out, because I'm telling you, getting a refrigerator could be expensive, and some people just don't even want one. But there's a lot of headaches associated with having a cooler, with all the water that just accumulates in there. And quite frankly, ice water has to be clean because people use it in their drinks and stuff. And so, I mean, why waste that good water if you don't have to? If you can keep it separate from your like gross bloody chicken or whatever, or, bologna and cheese, then it won't be contaminated and you can actually drink the water. Or like I've been doing, because my dry sack actually keeps it pretty separated, I've been using it to wash things with, and I could even wash my hair with it, if I heat it up. So I mean, it's just, I think it's a better use of your water, because sometimes I've paid like almost $4 for a block of ice. And so that's like, if I could reuse the water, that's great. That's saving me some money. That's actually like not wasting the whole $4. I got to, keep my food cold, and I got to drink the water or use the water. Yeah, so I think that's awesome. I mean, and if you're really concerned about like plastics or any kind of contamination or dirt, well, just if you got a Berkey or some kind of filter, just filter your water. In fact, I plan on eventually doing that as well. So yeah, I think this might be a good option. So I'll keep you guys updated on it. Let you know. I should know within a few days or weeks about, how I like it. So yeah, and they're expensive. They're $20 for 2 bags. But I figure if it's something that works great, it should be worth it. And it'll, hopefully, like I said, save people money. I mean, you're still going to have to buy ice a lot, but at least you'll be able to use the ice water for something instead of having to dump it out because it's gross. And then, of course, you're not going to waste as much food, because, I mean, like if your cheese or whatever gets soggy, that's gross, man. You got to throw it away. So, yeah, so hopefully this will help people to be able to, I don't know, utilize their ice chests a lot better. Okay, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is the typical nasty cooler water. And this is my dry sack, and normally it works to keep this whole puddle of water from the ice melting from happening. However, it kind of got stuffed down there, and somehow or another, maybe through the top part, the water came out. So I got the typical cooler mess, which is fine. This is great. It's a good opportunity to give a reminder as to why I'm switching bags over to those expensive ice bags. So like I said, we're going to see how they work. So far, I haven't had any complaints out of the bag yet. I've had it in the cooler for a day or two, maybe a day and a half now. And it's not the cause of this water. The water actually came from the dry sack. And the only reason why I didn't take this out and change it was because there was still a little bit of ice in here when I initiated the whole new bag thing. And it's still quite cold. The water's pretty cold. So I thought, well, just leave it. Unbeknownst to me, it decided it was going to make a big mess this time all over the cooler, which I guess is okay. It's par for the course. I'm just going to dump it out. But yeah, this is, everybody knows this. They know the whole yucky cooler water thing. So this is what I'm trying to prevent, which most of the time I do. But yeah, we're going to be doing these ice bags. Here's this ice bag right here. This is what it looks like when it's filled up with ice cubes and water and stuff. I do notice that, like, because this was sitting up toward the top, there is some condensation on it. So that might be part of the water too in there. I don't know. And if that's the case, it's still going to be a little bit wet, but at least it's not going to be an ocean of yucky, disgusting cooler water everywhere. It might be something where I'd have to wipe it out every once in a while or something, is what I'm hoping. Okay, here's what it looks like inside the cooler. And as you can see, my cooler is a little bit different. I took some insulation and I built a cooler inside of a cooler, which helps a lot. It keeps the ice a lot longer. I just couldn't justify buying a Yeti, and I already had this really awesome old Coleman, so I just did that. And I think it's like, I don't know, a 30-quart cooler. Who knows? This thing's old, so I didn't get to find out because I didn't get to buy it new. And yeah, so I'm thinking that this is going to work out pretty well. So far, the ice has lasted quite much longer than normal. I think because of what the bags are made out of, it should help. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'm more after not having the mess. And as, like I said before, the the dry sacks work, but they don't work very well. So hopefully this is going to be much better. And the dry sack is way better than just throwing the ice in there with nothing as well. So this is going to be awesome. They still make those what they call dry coolers, but you know, they're quite expensive. And I think Engel is like the only company that I've actually seen with real dry coolers. And basically it's just like this. It's some type of container with a spigot on it that's inside your cooler that keeps your ice away from your food. This is a lot cheaper. If you already have a cooler, just spend the $20 and get 2 of these bags. And yeah, I think you're good to go. Like I was showing earlier, there is some condensation that develops on the bag, but that's nothing compared to the like giant, nasty, yucky, cooler, food-soaked puddle that gets in there without it. So yeah, I'm thinking that this is pretty much a game changer for anybody that's gonna have a cooler long term for whatever reason. All right, and I just wanted to show you real quick too how this insulated thing works. I basically made a box out of this stuff, and if you can't find this low E, which it's easy to find, it's on eBay. I don't have the links or anything, but I bought it off of eBay. It's this, you know, it's called low E foam insulation, and it's basically Reflectix with foam in it instead of the air bubbles. But you could do the same thing with like a windshield reflector or just a roll of Reflectix. And I just put 2 of them together and made a lid. And I made one slightly smaller than the other, so it kind of fits in there. It's not perfect, but it works great. I haven't had any issues with that part of it. I absolutely love it. I think it helps keep the food colder longer, especially when the ice does melt. I haven't had any issues with anything spoiling. And I eat a lot of meat and perishables, so it's been great. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for everybody because, like I said, for whatever reason, not all of us can have a refrigerator right away when we first start out, or even at all. You know, there's some folks out there that just plain don't want to mess with it. And for me, I'm thinking that this is a good thing. It's going to help me hold out a little bit longer so I can save up a little bit more money. And yeah, this is good. So especially going into the winter months. Okay, I just wanted to show this one last thing here. Check it out. I actually have more room in my cooler now than I did with my dry sack. This thing takes up a lot less space. I just wanted to show what the food looks like in here now that I've put it back in. Yes, I do. I could use a trip to the grocery store, but really now I have more room to put some stuff. You know? So that's great. I probably won't put too much more because, you know, it's a cooler and the stuff goes bad pretty fast. But yeah, just wanted to show that too. So yeah, they're space saving as well. And like if you have a big cooler, you know, maybe you could buy like 4 of these or 6 of these and do 2 of them at a time and rotate them out. Because that's what I want to do. I want to put, you know, once the ice melts in this one, I want to put more ice in the other one and just keep rotating them. And I think that's going to be less mess and it's going to be easier. Even if I do have to waste the water and pour it out, it's going to be way easier than having to lift up a whole cooler and try to drain it out and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, just wanted to show that. Looking good, guys. I love it. Well, I hope this helped some people out there. And if it did, and if you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.